Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is the Mental Wellness Channel with Waihiga. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome. Thank you for your continued support. Today I want to talk about the Shanquella Robinson case. This case has gone absolutely viral, and so many people have talked about this case. I wanted to talk about it from a different point of view. Now, Shanquella Robinson was a 25-year-old hairdresser, very successful, lived in North Carolina, I believe, in late November. Shanquella Robinson and a few of her friends went to Mexico for a vacation. They were going to celebrate the party or the birthday of one of her best friends. I believe his name is Khalil. Now, on arrival, Shanquella actually called her mom. She talked to her mom and she told her mom how they were having a really good time. They were having she would call her right back. Shanquella did not call her mom again. Her friends called her mom and they told her mom that Shanquella had alcohol poisoning for some reason. She had alcohol poisoning, that Shanquella was really sick. She was in bed, she was unresponsive, and she could not come to the phone. There is also stories and rumors alleging that the friends called the mother and the family members asking for $5,000 to take Shanquella to hospital because the friends were saying this is how much the hospital was asking. Later that day, Shanquella died, and the friends called her mother and they told the mother that Shanquella had passed away. All the friends left Shanquella's body in Mexico. They had rented out a beautiful villa in Mexico and they flew back to the States, leaving Shanquella in Mexico. Her family had to take over and basically fly her body back to America. Now, her family was very skeptical of what happened. They didn't understand how their daughter had gone on vacation with friends and came back in a body bag. They didn't understand why her friends would leave her in Mexico dead. And the whole story was just very fishy to the family. And so Shanquella's family requested for an autopsy to be done. And they found out that Shanquella had a spinal cord injury and a neck injury. Her C1, the first vertebrae of the spine, was injured severely, and she had bruises on her face and on her body. This was not a case of alcohol poisoning, as per the autopsy report and as per the death certificate. Shanquella's friends, the ones that had gone with her to Mexico, came over to her parents' house to see her mother over and over and over again. In fact, they came over and returned her belongings, her clothes, and they kept telling the mother different stories. One friend would say it was alcohol poisoning, the other would say there was a fight that broke out, and so on and so forth. Eventually, a video came out on the internet. A video was leaked, and in this video, a naked Shanquella Robinson is seen being severely beaten by one of her so-called friends. And from this point on, I'm just going to call them the Cabo Six because these are not her friends. So one of the people in that video were really physically assaulting Shanquella. She was not clothed in that video. And another person was videotaping the beating. And the person that was recording the video was saying, "Quilla, can you at least fight or do something?" And Shanquella is heard in the video saying, "No," as she's being physically assaulted. The person in the video is really throwing punches, beating her. Eventually, Shanquella loses her balance, falls on the floor, or is dragged to the floor and is beaten some more. Now, after this video came out, that's when the story really blew up and when everybody on the internet started talking. It was a setup. Her friends killed her. Her friends were jealous of her. There was conspiracy theories being thrown around. People have said that Shanquella Robinson actually paid for that vacation because she was a business owner. She was doing very well in her businesses. She was a hairdresser at the young age of 25, and she was doing very well. So people were saying that these friends, these so-called friends she knew, were jealous of her. What I'm seeing is that her best friend that they were there to celebrate, his name is Khalil. She's the one. Shanquella knew him most. She knew him well, and that was her best friend. These other people that are involved in this case were people that she'd known from college or just acquaintances. They apparently were supposed to go skinny dipping, and that is why Shanquella was naked when she was being assaulted. So that's just my gatherings on the stories that have come out. Mexico, the authorities in Mexico have released a warrant for the arrest of Dejeuner, who is the alleged woman that was physically assaulting Shanquella in that video. The Mexican authorities are urging America to extradite her back to Mexico so that she can face charges of femicide, which is the homicide of a female. Mexico do not play with cases of femicide. Mexico has very high cases of femicide. I've watched a couple of documentaries about that. That Dejeuner lady can be sentenced to 40 to 60 years if she is found guilty of killing Shanquella. It's a hefty time to pay. I've been seeing this case playing out for the past 2 weeks, and I really didn't want to speak on it. I thought that my voice wasn't really needed because everybody has been doing a great job covering it, the YouTubers that I like to watch. And it's also sparked up, or rather it has triggered a part in me that I really don't like to talk about, and that is being hurt by friends or people that you thought are friends. There are parts of this conversation that I have watched from very different angles. There's one part that talks about victim blaming. Why are we talking about Shanquella's friends as if they are her friends? And why are we blaming her for the predicament she ended up in? And I see why people can call that victim blaming. But I don't think in this case this is victim blaming. I think the Shanquella Robinson case is a cautionary case, and it's a cautionary story. If we are not aware of the people in our lives, obviously Shanquella was not aware that these people did not like her, wanted to fight her, and wanted to kill her. She was not aware these people wanted to kill her. However, I think it sparks a very good conversation to have, and it helps us introspect. It helps us look deeper within our lives and truly ask ourselves, who are we hanging around? The people that we keep in our circle, do they love us or do they hate us? Are they jealous of us to the point that they can kill us? Shanquella Robinson did not walk into that B&B, that Airbnb, that fateful November afternoon, thinking that these people around her were going to kill her. Absolutely not. There's no ways she could have known that. However, for those left behind, for those that are still alive, I think there are some things that we can learn from her story and from her case. This year has been a very difficult year in terms of losing friends. And I don't even want to call them friends. I just want to say losing people that I thought were once close to me. And God was really able to show me that the people that I thought were for me really were not for me. And this often happens when you go through a traumatic event. As you've watched my channel, you noticed that I talked about a sexual assault that I went through earlier this year. The people that I expected to be pillars of hope and pillars of encouragement and there for me when I went through this were nowhere to be found. Not only that, they told me that I needed to move on. They told me that I basically just needed to move on with my life. The support that I needed was not offered. The listening ear that I once offered was not given. And there were many things that came to the surface about these so-called friends that I never knew until my darkest hour. And these were people that I highly regarded, I had blind faith in. And because we met when I was sober and in recovery circles, I thought these people thought the same way that I did, that we did not harm each other out of malice, that we did not gossip, that we did not go out of our way to hurt each other. But it got me thinking. It got me thinking about my past and the type of friend that I have been. I had a best friend growing up, and she's been my best friend she was my best friend when we were younger, especially in high school. In high school is when we were best friends, and when we got to college, we went to different colleges and life happened. But what is really sad about what happened in this friendship is that I messed up. When I started drinking, I wasn't present in her life. I wasn't present for the bad times. I wasn't present for the good times. I wasn't present for the mundane times. And because I chose liquor over my friendship with my best friend, I lost her. In my drinking years, I had lots of drinking buddies, but I wouldn't consider them friends. Yes, we drank together. Yes, we shared a lot of times together, but I wouldn't say that we were deeply friends. There are some people that I did wrong in my past, in my drinking past, that I still owe amends. And after all that, I became sober. And when I got sober, I thought that I could start my life on a new slate. I thought that the people that I would let into my life were sober like me. They were sober-minded, they were good-hearted, and they wanted the same things that I did. I wanted to live a life without manipulation, without jealousy, without narcissism, without guilt-tripping, without any of those toxic behaviors that I once engaged in. I wanted to go back to being the new Waihiga, or the old Waihiga, the one who used to be light-free and happy before the drinking. Because I know I can be a good friend when I'm not drinking. I was a good friend before I started drinking. And so here I was in recovery, making friends and giving my all, and thinking that people were returning it. But it was not to be. In the darkest hours after my sexual assault, I really got to see who my true friends were and who I thought my true friends were not. And when the Shanquella Robinson case happened, it triggered me so badly because all of a sudden everyone was talking about jealous friends, fake friends. I had just come from that. I'm still healing from that. The end of a friendship is, in my opinion, much worse than the end of a relationship. And anticipate the end of a relationship because it's something that you've gone through. But you can't anticipate the end of a friendship. Someone once told me this the other day. A man will know you and he will hurt you, but a woman will know you deeply and will still hurt you. And that rings so true. I don't know why we fight each other as women. I don't know why we tear each other down. I don't know why love is lost. I don't know why we envy each other. I don't know why we're jealous of each other. I don't know why we speak down on each other. I don't know why we gossip. I don't know why we fight each other over men. I don't understand it. Have these been things that I have done? I have done these things before. I'm not an angel. But I'm getting to the point in which I realize it is futile. It is futile. So I want to talk to jealous friends, because I'm not hearing people talking to the jealous friends. I'm hearing everybody talking about their experience with jealous friends. If you are a jealous friend, if you are a toxic person, if you feel the need to guilt trip, if you are envious of your fellow sister, remove yourself from that friendship quietly. Exit that friendship quietly. Just stop being friends with that person. I know all of us want to think that we're the good person, that we are good. I'm not jealous. I'm not toxic. I'm not guilt tripping anyone. No, I don't do those things. But sit with yourself in a quiet place. Ask yourself, have I invoked jealousy, anger. Why do I treat this friend like this? Can I be happy for this friend genuinely? Why do I talk to this friend like this? Am I upset that she makes more money than I do? Or do I genuinely care that she is winning in life? Am I happy that she's beautiful? Am I happy that she's in a relationship and I am not? Am I happy that she is making progress? Because you know what? One day I want to be like her. Not because I want to be her, but because one day I want to be like her. So do you understand the line between celebrating your friend, being happy for your friend, or simply being evil and wanting to take it away from her? Do you want to get close enough to her in order to hurt her? You can be doing this intentionally, subconsciously, or unconsciously. But as someone who was once jealous of a friend, you need to ask yourself, why am I friends with this person? Why am I here? Am I here because they make me look good to the outside world? Because they improve my social currency? They make me popular because I hang out with this person? Ask yourself such questions. Or am I here because this person is a good person and I like them for the qualities and the character that they possess? If not, quietly exit their life. Because rage and jealousy will lead you to become violent and to become toxic and to start gossiping and to start manipulating and to start going behind the back of your so-called friend in order to make yourself look or feel better. A person with good self-esteem has no need to bring down the reputation of another person to make themselves look better. In fact, you, my friend, are the fool. So, in this Shanquella Robinson case, I hope justice is dished out to the person that was recording that video, that did not intervene when Shanquella was getting beaten up and physically assaulted. You didn't intervene in a fight when your friend was getting beaten up, and you recorded it. You recorded it to the woman who beat Shanquella to death, allegedly. I hope you serve your time in a Mexican prison. And to all the friends who tried to cover this up, yeah, your time will come. Have you had bad encounters with friends or so-called friends? You know, the enemy really disguises itself as your friend. I'd like to know in the comments below what you've gone through with a so-called friend. Please let me know. Please hit that subscribe button, and please also hit that notification bell so every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Thank you so much for your continued support. Until the next time, bye-bye.